Hey guys, welcome to my second tutorial over how to add characters into VRChat. If you're here, you have likely seen my first video, which was taking the regular PMX file, throwing it into Blender, and then importing it into Unity and uploading. And if you've done that, then good. If you haven't, I recommend you go see that video. Or possibly, maybe you've already set up an avatar and you just want to know how to do this stuff. That's fine too. That's what I'm doing here. So in this video, we're going to be focusing on dynamic bone and animations, custom animations, overriding emotes, stuff like that. And blinking as well. We're going to be adding blinking to our avatar. Okay, so I'm going to be using the Shauna model that I had last time. I have it in Blender already. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Blender. Oh, my bad. There we go. Now you notice I have multiple files here. For me, video is the one I have it in. I have all my main ones in here. This just makes it a bit easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. It also allows me to know what I need to import, because on my other one I have dynamic bone and everything already imported. And it's just helpful. Alright, so I have no idea why that one's named Shauna 1. Let's just change that right quick. Okay. So, let's go back to desktop real quick. So, for these animation files, these are just a few extra ones I found online. They're pre-made. You just add them, but you can make your own as well. There, of course, there's different tutorials for how to do that. I'm not going to cover that. I'm just going to cover how to add them to your avatar. And right now we're going to add these two to our assets folder so we can use them both. So I'm going to go to show and explore. Again, this is just how I like to do it. Show my explorer here. Open assets. And, oh, not move. I'm going to copy. Actually, copying is always good for Unity because it will change those files to its pleasing. Alrighty, there we go. Unity's going to update. It's probably not going to let me open it. There it goes. Give it a second. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay, they showed up. Alright, so now we have animations and dynamic bone over here. Dynamic bone is something you have to buy from the assets store. I believe they have a discount going on right now for the holidays. It's like $13, $14. I can't remember. That's why I got it for the 30% off. I think it was 14. But yeah, if you want to add dynamic bones, it's cool. I can't say it's worth the full 20, so I would wait until it goes on sale again. Otherwise, yeah, or if you just really want it, because it is definitely difficult to deal with, I'll tell you that. Okay, so let's do animations first. We'll do that. Okay, so for animations, basically what we're going to do is first we're going to set up a blinking animation, and then we're going to import like these there's a dab. Import each one of these as an emote to our as an override. So to do the blinking one, what we're going to do first is we're going to duplicate our main character. Do that by selecting them and Control D. You'll see that just made another one down here. You can't see it at the moment because it's at the same position. It's in the same pose. So they're taking up the same space in Unity. I like to name this one anim or anims for animations short, so that you're not only using this for blinking. You can use it for any animations you make in the future. So yeah, we're going to click on this one, click animation over here, and if you don't have animation here, you open this window, you click animation, and it'll pop up that for you, and then you should have this. Alright, and now we're going to click Shauna Anims and create. Oh, and it's going to ask you to make a file for it. Because we're making a blink file, oh crap, pressed enter on accident. Because we're making a blink file, I'm going to name it Shauna, the name of my character, and then blink. Blink.anim. Perfect. And we can just, I don't know why that's in animations, I want it to be in assets. Actually, no, maybe that's better for it to be in animations. Okay, so we're going to save. Oh, inside of materials. Save. There we go. Okay, and here we are. Now, first thing we're going to do is move our character to up higher above our current character, so we can see that character instead. And you do that by simply dragging upwards. Give it a little bit of height, because once you start animating things, the character will crouch down in a weird position. And we can just prepare for that. Not sure why it does it. Okay. Oh, yep, see? I don't know why she's moved. Definitely make sure this is unclicked while you're moving the avatar. Sometimes you do have to have it clicked. I don't know why. No, I didn't want that. Yeah, I struggle with this part as well. Okay, maybe that's it. Oh, and if it creates these little things over here, that's you moving the thing. That means your record was on. That's fine. Just drag, select, and delete. And turn that off again. I don't know why it keeps popping up. Oh, okay. Maybe that'll... Okay, this is odd. Maybe that'll do it. Okay. Press play. No, again. Well, anyway, we'll fix that later. For now, let's add the actual animations. So, this is where your shape keys come into hand, or become handy, because that is where you will find them. So, to add an animation, let me set this back to 0. God, again. Half of the video is going to be me struggling with this. And I don't even know what's wrong. You know what? I think I know what the issue is. I'm going to set this to 7, and that should do it. Okay. Nope, she went back to the original place. Okay. This is fun. Anyway, you want to click Add Property, go to your Body Mesh, and select Skinned Mesh Rainbow. Now here you're going to see a bunch of things. The only thing we're going to be dealing with is these blend shapes. Those are what animate your character. None of the material reference, not dirty AABB, whatever that is. Just the blend shape dot whatever name. So for this one, if you haven't translated these, you need to go back and you need to make sure you translate them. You keep scrolling until you find this blink. It'll be blend shape dot blink, or it might be something else. Yeah. So okay, we'll select that. Scroll over, add the plus sign, and that'll put it right here. Perfect. I don't know what, again, it's selected the, there we go. Okay, I'm just going to add this one at the beginning, leave that, and it did it again. Oh my. She's even higher now. That's amazing. Maybe that's okay. Okay. So, a good thing to follow is placing, what is this? I'm going to delete that as well. Alright, good thing to do is place your blink every 5 seconds. Some people add double blinks. I'll show you how to do double blinks. The regular blink, it depends on what you like. If you want to add where your character only blinks once, that's up to you. If you want to do where your character does a double blink, and then a regular blink, or a regular blink and then a double blink, again, up to you. You choose what you want to do. I'm going to do 1 blink and then 2 blinks. So how we're going to do that? We're going to go to 5 seconds. We're going to drop a 0 marker for this. And I'm going to go over to 510, scrolling a bit further, so you can see 510. There we go. So 1/10 of a second. And I'm going to click this add keyframe again. All right, and this time we're going to edit. We're going to go to 100. Now you'll see now my character's eyes have gone completely closed. That's a blink right there. However, it goes from open, close. Let's animate that real quick, show you what it was like. Now to do that, and I suppose that's a bit quick if you have just one blink. So what we do instead is, let me stop this. We're going to go past to 520, or no, what was it? 510, 520, yeah, 520. And we're going to drop another marker. This time we're going to edit it and add it to 0, or make it 0. So now you see, if we drag it along, it'll close and open again. If we play that, that's going to look a lot smoother. Give it time, and it approaches 5 seconds, and there's a blink. Perfect. Okay. Now, the time, or the distance in between each blink is up to you. Again, if you want to make it odd, then that's fine. As for the distancing between these, I wouldn't make it too quick. Anything quicker than this would probably just look like your eyes are spasming. But that is a good 10 milliseconds, or not 10 milliseconds. That's what, 1,000? No, 1,000 is a second. 100. I think it's 100. Either way, I'm going to move over to 10 seconds right over here. Click on it. And I'm going to drop another 0. Oh, not right there. Another 0. Move over to 1010. Drop a keyframe. And change that to 100. Oh, I deleted it. Change it to 100. Then I'm going to move over to 1020. Drop another one. Change it to 0. Okay. And then for the double blink, I'm going to go in between, make it a bit faster. I'm going to go, instead of 1030, I'm going to add it to 1025. I'm going to drop one. This time, since the previous one was 0, we can just add this, or make this 100. Make it 100. And then next we'll go to 1030. And we'll drop another one, and of course set it to 0. Let's animate that. Let it play. There's one blink. And 2 blinks. Now that's just one of the ways you can do it. Again, I suppose if you put the second blink first and or 2 blinks first and then 1 blink last, it's going to look the same. Or if you just want to do maybe 2 regular blinks and then a double blink, again, it's up to you. Play around with this, definitely. Add some of these other shapes. See what you can do with maybe the surprise or renunciation. Yours will be different. Not everyone has the same. In fact, not all of them are going to have these. Typically in Blender, you'll have to press animate, or what do you call it? Add or create by scenes. In the case that you do, that's okay. In the case that you don't, there's a workaround for that. I'll show you guys later whenever we're doing the mouth animations, or the lip syncing, whatever you want to call it. So for now, this is good. We're going to go ahead and save this. How you do that, I'm going to make that stop playing. Go to project, and you'll see it's created, I think it's right, yep, Shauna Blink, right there. That's our file. What you want to do first, before you do anything else, select this file over here in Inspector, and when I click, there's a very tiny button for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's going to be up here in the corner, real small. Right next to this lock, just to the right of it. And click that drop-down menu and select Debug. And that's going to add all of this stuff to it. Select Legacy, put it back in normal. It's going to change all of that. Put the wrap mode to loop, and it's done at that point. We haven't added it to the character, but the animation is done. So that's nice. Her eyes are closed. Actually, not even completely closed. Okay, so from here we're going to go to selecting the character, not this one. We're actually going to hide this one so it doesn't interfere with, there we go, so it doesn't interfere with our preview later. I'm going to go here, goodness, okay, and we're going to select add component. We're going to look up animation, and it's always the red button animation, not the animator. There we go. It's going to ask you for the clip. Take your clip, in this case it was Shauna Blink for me, and drag it and place. Alright, and from there that should work. We'll see. Let's press play and go to scene view. Yep, there it goes. Wait for the double blink. There it goes. Perfect. Alright. So we've got that working. Let's see. Let's work on mouth movement, lip sync, whatever you want to call it. Where's my avatar descriptor? Seems to have disappeared. No, it's right there. I'm blind. Oh, and I closed it. Okay. So if your avatar descriptor, to add a mouth movement, lip sync, whatever you want to call it, again, I don't really care. I'm going to call it mouth movement, I guess. You want to always make sure you have Vizime blend shape selected. That is what you want, okay? Now in Blender, I don't always press the shape key button or generate shape keys, but I suppose there's no downside to it, so I would recommend pressing that each time you make an avatar before you export. After you're done with everything, so yeah, you can do that. Sometimes they'll come with them. This one actually had them. I didn't click create Visemes. It already had them. So now what we need to do is we need to drag in the skinned mesh renderer over here. Just basically just go in. It's not armature, it is body. You want to click drag body over here. And you'll see that brings up all of these. Now these are your, I guess they're related to the sound that you make, each word. They must be universal because, you know, I don't see any, oh, not leaking. That would be interesting though. Anyways, yeah, you just map each one of these to either VRC, AA, or whatever when you click on. Again, these are your Visemes. If you have these are great. In the event that you don't, you can play around with these mouth shapes down here. There's the, I'm not sure what this one does. I've seen people use this one. Again, something nice to play around with. Test them in the animation tab, see what they do. If you like them, that's good. Or if you really wanted to, you could just add this as every single one of the Visemes. It would work. No one would care. No one's going to look at your mouth and be like, oh, hey, when you say O, it's not making the O shape. They're just going to think in general, if you're able to move your mouth, then you know what you're doing in Unity. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and select each one of these, map sill to sill, PP to P, and all that. This is another one of those tedious processes. DD, that one, CH, SS, NN, oh, RR, let's see, AA, that's the very first one, E, IH, there it is, OH, and OU, which is, no, not there, in the middle. There it is. Okay, now we're done. That's basically it. That's all you have to do for lip sync. Really, that's that's basically it. If you uploaded this right here, you'd be able to blink. You'd be able to see your mouth move whenever you talk. Sometimes I have noticed sometimes when you generate Visemes, it won't work in Unity. You can map all these with my Maya character. For some reason, I went back into Blender with my .fbx and added create by seams or whatever. Actually, I made did it with the .pmx file. Anyway, I clicked create by seams and added them here. Nothing happened. And in that case, again, you just select these shapes. These are your mouth shapes. Sometimes you'll have more. These are mouth shapes as well. Uh, they're kind of sometimes self-explanatory. Other times you're gonna have to guess or go into the animator and see what they do. Set your value to 100 so that they're activated. For now, these work. I've already tested them in game to double check, and we're good on that. Now let's work on adding custom emotes or whatever. Now, how are we going to do that? We're going to be dealing again with the descriptor. You see your custom standing animations. Custom sitting animations, I'm not going to deal with those for now because those are more for facial expressions when you're sitting or hand gestures. The ones I have currently, those are things you're going to do when you're standing. Like, you know, dab. You'll see why in a moment. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a overwrite thing, which is in the VRC SDK, examples. I think it's in example assets. Let's see, animation, I believe. Yep, and custom override. Yeah. No. Yes. Is it? Let me double check. Sorry. Yes, that's it. Okay. So what you can do is go ahead and is there a way to copy it? I don't think so. So instead what you can do is just Control D, that'll create a duplicate, and you can drag that into your I drag it into my assets folder. You can keep it here if you want, but that'll be harder to find it. I'm just going to put it in my assets so it's easier to find. Alright, now we have our custom override here. Alright, and now what we need to do is select our animations that we want. In the event that you already have animations created or you found some online that you're going to add, then good. This is the stuff you need to be on. Otherwise, you're going to create animations. I'm sorry, I'm not your guy. I'm not too familiar with creating animations, but I'm fairly sure there are going to be billions of other videos out there describing how to make animations. But in my case, I have the animations. It skips a few for me. There's a few steps for me. But anyway, what we're going to do is simply here are your emotes 1 through 8. I wouldn't recommend messing with any of these. Again, I'll do that for later whenever I have my VR. At the moment, I do not. And I only recommend editing these for whenever you have VR. Anyways, simply grab them, drag them, and place them. And that's it. Save this, go into game. If I were, there's another step in the where we actually add the avatar controller to the avatar descriptor. But if I were to save it after I add it to the avatar descriptor, then I went into game. Emote 1, which I believe is cheer, would get overwritten with this dab animation. And yeah, just click that and it would perform the dab animation for me. Now you can set these up in whatever set or order you want. If you want to keep one, definitely go into game, see which one is which. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Overwrite some. Again, just experiment. Let's see, I add hip hop, caramel dancing, the dab definitely, the longer salute, salute 1. Some of these are very odd to play with. Let's see, let's do. Did I do Death Longer? No, I haven't done Death Longer. I'm gonna add that one. What else? Yeah, there's a bunch of these fun ones to play with. Of course, it's more fun to create your own or edit the ones here. Let's see, emote 8. I believe I did the low kick. Yeah, okay. So now I have all 8 emotes overwritten. Loading in the game, you would no longer have the other emotes. They're not there. They're going to be these. Okay. Now we're just going to simply click our character, because that is, I guess it automatically saves. We had it in assets. So if our avatar is selected, we can see our custom override. We're going to simply click, not click, you're going to drag it over into custom standing animations. And you're done. That is that. Again, that's the simplicity of it. If you already have the animations made, then that is how you add them to an override and you throw them in there and get them to work in the game. People, they'll refer to them as other things. I call them emote overrides or whatever you want to call them. So now we can go ahead and work with dynamic bones, I suppose. Dynamic bones is tricky. Again, it costs $14 or $20 normally. I got it for 30% off, so it was like $14. But for using that, we are going to go to down here. Someone's texting me. And go down to add components. I believe it is this. Yeah, just in the root. Search DYN for dynamic, and it'll bring up dynamic bone, the collider, collider base, demo 1, and plane collider. Now as for collider base and plane collider and demo, no, demo's a given. You're not going to want to use demo. But for plane collider and collider base, I don't believe you can use them. I only think you can use the bone and the bone collider. Bone collider is a little difficult, but we'll get to those. For now, we're just going to add dynamic bone. Alright. From here, we need to add the root of the bone. If you have the root of your bone, good. I'm going to be doing that version here. There's a way to do it without having roots. It's a little bit more complicated, but I'm just going to use the way that you have the skirt root. If not, then I recommend going to my previous tutorial, looking up how I did that. I believe I did cover it because it is set up in here. I don't think Cats does that for you. Yeah, skirt root. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go over, like I did, click the little arrows until you find one of your roots. And I'm not going to use skirt root. I'm actually going to go to spine, chest. Chest root is what I did for the ribbon and the little back part. I'm going to go to neck and head, and there I'll find my hair root. My general rule is if it's far enough away from the body, like the hair is on this model at least, I'll give it a dynamic bones. If it is short and not far enough away from the body, I don't animate it. For example, this skirt. This skirt has dynamic bones. It has the skirt root. I went ahead and added it. That was just for organization. I'm not going to animate the skirt because I know from experience that the legs are just going to clip through. In fact, I think whenever I experimented with it earlier, they already did clip through. But same goes for the ribbon on her chest here. I'm not going to bother with that because of the way that dynamic bones works. It's a pain. It clips through the body. It doesn't look nice. So yeah, I'm only going to animate the hair on this model. And I noticed, again, whenever I was experimenting off camera, this model, for some very odd reason, deleted the extra bone that was up here in the hair and placed the main one here. So whenever I do it, it's going to look a bit odd. Just please ignore that. Your model's going to be set up differently, of course. It may look a little bit better, hopefully better. If you didn't use Cats, good for you. It's going to definitely look a way lot better. Cats simplifies it way too much. Anyway, back onto this. This is a very complicated menu. I recommend working with this in the play mode, also in VRChat itself, because there are a lot of options here to work with. I actually don't remember what settings I used on the test version, but that's okay. I get to show you guys how to set up hair, I guess. Fun. It is a pain sometimes. But yeah, let's get to that. Okay, So here we have very first option is damping. Actually, let me show you what happens just adding the hair root and the dynamic bone script. What happens when we do that? I click play. That'll allow me to drag around stuff, play with it. Click scene. It'll always put you in game mode. I'm not sure why. Is it because you press play? I don't know. Anyway, go to scene, and this will let you drag around your characters and stuff. I typically play around with the X and Z axis because that's what you'll be using in game. Y axis is only used for when you're jumping. I don't care about that as much. Oh, she's blinking. Anyways, test it. You drag her back and forth, and you'll see that doesn't look like hair. It looks like jello. It's very odd. And that's what these settings are for. Oh, no, I'm not going to talk about them like I know exactly what each one does. From experience, I can tell you what each one does. And I'll go over the basic. Oh, well, that's actually that's interesting. Anyway, don't do your work in edit mode. It'll delete it. It won't save it. See, look, if I add damping all the way to, oh, hold on, scene. See, damping is at 0.5 now. Damping is kind of works like springs. It depends how many times your hair goes back and forth before it finally gets to its final position. I was going to say destination there. So you see now it's a little bit less jello-like, more like hair. Hair isn't going to wobble back and forth unless you have jello in your hair, or your hair is made of jello. Anyways, yeah, see, it didn't save it. So if I wanted to save that, I'd have to come over here while it's not in edit or the play mode. You can set these values by typing them, 0.5. Damping is a good number. We can play around with these. So damping is, like I said, how many times or how quick it gets to its original position. Play around with it. It's different for every character. It's different for your hair length. It's different for the size of the object you're trying to add the dynamic bones to. It's different for everything. You can't just go Google, oh, what's a good dynamic bone setup or group of numbers. I don't know what you want to call those. You can't do that. Maybe you can with some because the hair will be really close in size and thickness and all that, but otherwise you have to play with it yourself. So for this one, I'm going to add 0.5. Elasticity is how quickly it gets to that position, the final position it's at. So if I were to raise, sorry for the whistling sound by the way, if I were to raise this to 0.5 and click play, drag it around a bit, you notice it doesn't move as much. That's because it's moving very quickly to get to that position. So typically I don't mess with elasticity. I leave it at 0.1. Stiffness. Stiffness is a given. Stiffness is the how difficult it is to bend the bones or the joints between the bones. You can change that. I'll change it to 0.3. Nothing intense. Of course, I say 0.3 and type 0.4. 0.3. Play. Scene, and you'll see. Oh, maybe that wasn't enough. But that's what stiffness is. It's the adds difficulty in moving each joint or bone. Someone is really trying to get a hold of me. Inert. Inert is like inertia, I suppose. I don't play around with it much, to be honest. The default value is 0. You can set it to 0.1. And let me maximize this. Put it in play mode. I don't think this is going to change much. Maybe not. Yeah. I like that 0.5 for my character's hair, though. See if I increase this to... I know some people like to put this high and use it as a replacement for stiffness, which it does work. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I guess inert makes it pretty difficult to move it from its original position, which is nice. I actually like this. I'm going to leave my inertia at 0.1, but we're not going to edit in here. I'm going to leave it at 0.1. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe raise the elasticity. Bring it to 0.2. Again, I don't like messing with elasticity. I mainly focus with damping and sometimes inert. Okay, and for that we're basically done. That's how you get your bones to move. That's how you set them up. Again, play with them. It's your preference. It's different per set because no avatar is the same, or no model is the same. Let's get to colliders. Colliders are a bit special. They don't always work. And what I mean by that is they have a strength to them. And if that strength is broken by the dynamic bone pushing into them, the bone will just slip through. And it will continue slipping through until the strength has lowered down past the strength of the collider. So to add colliders, what I like to do is I like to click on the bone I want to add it to. For now, I'm going to add a bone in the center of the body so that it doesn't clip through the body, as you saw earlier in the play mode. See how it clips through the body? Okay, maybe not as badly. I'm going to lower the elasticity again. Change that back to 1. Maybe that'll work. I'm actually trying to get it to clip through the body now, and it doesn't want to. Okay, there we go. That's better. Or worse, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to connect it to the spine bone. Why I'm connecting the spine bone is just because that's, I don't know, it's a good center point in the body. You can do a lot from the spine bone. Now, my avatar isn't the hair isn't too long on my avatar. Hair goes down about to the hips. So the spine is a good point to start. I won't have to make my collider too large. So we're going to go ahead and add component. Again, if you already have this typed in, and it should show up, and select dynamic bone collider. And it's going to be set to a very large value. As you'll see, it's almost expanding past my view. That's okay. We're just going to go over here. A good value is, I suppose you can play around with this. It's not going to be the same per avatar. For mine, I did 0.005. I think it was even smaller than that. I think it was 0.003. Yeah, it was something like that. Okay, that's good. As for the other options here, direction. Direction is just a modifier for height, I believe. Bound. Bound is where the collider is applied. If I had it set for inside, the hair would go past this side of the. Hold on, why isn't it working? No, the hair would go past this side, this little part of the sphere, and it would touch the inner side of this part over here, which is not what we want. We want to prevent it from going through the body. So we're going to set it to outside. Now, to get this to actually work, you're not going to want to have it just a ball in the middle of your body. You don't want that. I don't even think for your hands. In this case, you want to go to height. You want to use very minuscule values, like 0.002. That might even be too small. 0.0045. No, 9. There we go. So maybe back up to this one, place it as 1. Okay. Now for this one, I guess, again, play around with your avatar, see what works for you. For me, that seems to have worked decently well. What value is that? I'm going to change it to 0.23, raise the Y value of it. Y is your green axis, that's up. Change the Y value just a very minuscule amount, 0.001. Oh, that was perfect. Okay. And I'm going to change the radius one more time. I'll change it to 0.25 even. That looks okay, I suppose. Let me change the height again. That'll work. That's perfect. Okay, so why I do that is, oh, let me explain this. Okay, the area in between these spheres is actually what is the dynamic bone. It doesn't show you the area where to interfere. You just have to kind of play around with it to see if it does or does not. I can tell you this will work. Um, ah, so if, like I said earlier, don't just use the ball. It's better to add height to it. Okay, and well, we have the collider script. We have it all set up. This is just for the body. You can add more for the arms if you want. Um, Actually, I'm not sure this will work right now solely for this, but just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to upload it, not upload, add it the way it is, and then upload it like so. We're going to want to not select there. Go back to your main character, click on her, and over in the dynamic bone script, add a collider. Just add one. For some reason, this doesn't update until you click somewhere. I just click on size and it does it. Now you don't. It'd be difficult to drag and drop it in here. What you can do alternatively is select this little dot over to the right side, and it should show up. Now, if you have multiple avatars in your player field, it will show those as well. For me, I just have this one avatar for the video. You can just select that. Double clicking works. Yep. So now this dynamic bone will not collide with the collider that I've set in the body. And if I go ahead and click play, it may not work as well, but compared to my other character. But for now, oh, okay, suppose it did. You see, it's not as bad. It's not clipping as badly through the player. What you could do is maybe add it to the arms. On my other player, or my other version of this model I was experimenting with, I added it to the arms. I did it all the way down to the hands, so that even the hands had colliders on them, in case I wanted to touch something, like my own hair, make it move, or if I elbowed my hair, it would move, stuff like that. And yeah, that's how you add the dynamic bones and the colliders. For now, that is it, I believe. Oh, we're still in play mode. There we go. Okay. So we've added our dynamic bones. We can blink, and the mouth will move in game, or at least it should. As far as I think we should be good. Got our lip syncing animations. We covered that. Let me check the desktop. Just double check. Yeah. So that's how you cover that. I will now, I guess, upload it and go into game and show you guys. So I'm going to skip the upload part. You've already seen how you upload. If not, then I don't know why you're here, to be honest. You should see the previous video. That's what I mean by that. Not that you shouldn't be making avatars. But yeah, we'll see you guys in game. Okay, hey guys, here we are again. We're in game. Remove the chat thing so you can see the mouth works. For now, I'm just in this character. I'll switch over. Shauna 2 is the one I was telling you that I experimented with. Shauna is the regular one that I worked on in the video previously. Change into that, and it works. My mouth is moving. It's a bit wide for this character, or large. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I actually like it. It's pretty good. The hair, oh no, it's working. Okay. Like I said, the bones are in a weird placement, so they move a little awkward for this one. But yeah, it works. It blinks. I don't know if you might have saw earlier when I was standing there. There it goes. Did a double blink. So that's how you add the dynamic bones, the colliders, the blinking animation, and add your lip sync. Now, as for eye tracking is something completely different. I personally don't like eye tracking, simply because it actually looks kind of weird. It whenever I had first heard of eye tracking, I had assumed it was something like your headset, your VR headset would, or maybe even the Tobii eye tracking, if you know what that is, would see where your eyes are looking and look there, but it's actually not the case. It's where your character looks at, believe it's whatever character you were previously looking at. The eyes follow them. But that doesn't work. I don't think it'll work for every character. That doesn't sound something like I would be interested in. Um, if it becomes something that people would want to see be done, I will definitely research it and make a video over it. However, at the moment, it's not. I'm not going to make a video over it because it's not something, well, one, that I want to do, something I like, and that I believe many people would be able to easily do. I mean, with cats maybe, but otherwise, yep, here's the character. It works. This isn't completely done. Oh, I forgot to show you the animations. Okay. So here are animations. Looks like dab. We placed it as number 1, so it does look like number 1 is going to be the top left. I can't remember if we put caramel dancing as number 2. I think we did. So animation. I guess it goes from this, and then from this. So yeah, I'll show you those will work. Let's do the caramel dancing. That's rather good for this character. And as you can see, also my legs are already clipping through the skirt, which is why I didn't want to add dynamic bones. So yeah, your emotes will work. Yeah, all that should work. If there's any questions, again, add me in the or message me in the Discord. My game is Beast of Boston 3, my name, or username, whatever you want to call that. Or I don't typically use the main VRChat server or channel, whatever you want to call it, simply because it's always being spammed with people. But if you want to try to add me there, I am there as well. Just search my name or just use the app. I guess that'll work. Either way, thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this tutorial, you need help, again, Discord. See you guys later.